bit different and new today because a brand new preview just came out. It's 4 days into 2024, but they've already dropped a brand new one, and this includes quite a few odd features that I have to check out. For example, they not only reference changing the armadillo and the breeze, but as well as the wolf armor and a few other little bug fixes, but they also say right here, trail ruins will now be placed in the same location and configuration as in Java. Either this is the most cryptic bug fix ever, and they finally have fixed the trail ruins, or they have some other weird explanation as to what they're going to be fixing. I need to know what's happening with that, as well as all of the other things here. And also, editor mode has received a little couple of updates, including, interestingly, vanilla, flat, those are the 2 world types we have in Bedrock, and a brand new void world type. So we're going to be checking out the new void world project, which is possible in editor mode, as well as everything else in the preview today. But instead of a polished video, it's a live stream where you can see me playing around with everything. I figured that could be way better, or let's be honest, way worse. But join me for the journey as we go along anyway. Hello, I'm ibxtoycat. There's a tiny bit of green, but it's gone now, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. By the way, did you know there was a little news section of the game right here where they can tell you all sorts of fun things, including you can see the change logs if you missed them? I only learned that surprisingly recently. Anyway, so with that said, this is the preview. Let's make a brand new world, which, by the way, you can now do not just by using this weird grid, but also, look at that. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Oh, we're like this, and now we're like that. You can go back to the list format. This is something that's brand new. They're making a lot of UI changes between 1.20 and 1.21, and it's a small change, but I like it. So, one of the first things I figured I had to check out was the Trail Ruins thing. I think it's crazy that 1.20 came out 6 months ago, and they haven't managed to fix it, so I'm going to be finding out for myself, and I could use any seed for a Trail Ruins, but then I realized what would be way more fun is if I check out this one. So for my best seeds of, oh, I've got the wrong, so I think I'd use this one. For my best seeds of 2023, there is a seed where there was a Trail Ruins that just floated in the air. To mute it and show you, the Trail Ruins was 256 blocks above the surface because of weird permutations about the gap. What does this seed look like now? I mean, both that Trail Ruins that you can see in front of me, but the rest of them, let's find out. As you probably know, the seeds are in the description. It's something I started doing now that more and more people stop watching the videos from console, and it's actually useful for them. And so we're going to take that seed into the beta/preview and see how that goes for us, shall we? So this is trail test, and we'll do it in just creative because this is a preview. And let's see what's happening. I'm excited for this today, by the way, because even though I have no idea how it's gonna go, if this is gonna be fun, I figured it's one of those things that you kind of just have to like give it a shot and see. So I always forget to turn on the update 1.21, so turn it on. We'll turn on the armadillo and the villager trades, not the villager trades actually. There's some interesting news about the armadillo, by the way. It looks as though, also, what am I doing over here? Oh, it's, I want to be over here. Yeah, it's interesting that there's that tiny little stretch over there. But anyway, that said, can we all agree to ignore that too? It says low quality as you can only expect for, you know, when I'm over here, it goes away, but when I'm close by, it's very much visible. Also, yeah, I thought I was late by 40 minutes, but I guess not. Good to see you, by the way. So first of all, one of the most important bugs to fix is it used to be that when you had a controller, they haven't fixed it. Yeah, if you've got a controller attached, you can't hide the prompts. If we just confirm that I'm not being crazy, I can. Oh, actually, maybe it isn't. It's just not turned on. We put hide controller hints on, and we go back, and they're not hidden. So that's.
Toy cat.
Hello. Good to see you, Nightfire. Thank you for the first tip of the stream. Hope you're looking forward to. Oh, wait, no, it was back this way, wasn't it? Let's see what the. Oh, it's been fixed. Wow, internet. Look, it's what used to be a 256 block pillar is now this. Wow, that's a big difference, huh? You know what? The way I feel about this is mad fooling. That's for sure. No, more seriously though, this is bizarre to see. They have actually fixed it. So now I want to know where the Trail Ruins goes. If it's not in the sky, I'll check this as the same coordinates. Let's go back to the. Let's go back to that same video real quick. Yeah, it was at 0, -986. I should see it. And so if I'm at -986, it'll be about over here. Yeah, that should be where the Trail Ruins is. This is sad to see. You know, I would be sad. You know, there is a little bit of sadness from it, but also it's incredibly weird. Although actually, it looks as though There's just no trail ruins here anymore. Oh no, there is. It's just all the way down here, unless that's just tough. Let's do a quick locate structure search. Trail ruins. So the nearest trail ruins. Oh, because they're matched to generate Java, they just didn't bother generating here, would be my best guess. The seed is still pretty good for getting diamonds, apparently. All the way at -11, you can find a couple. But otherwise, very, very, very odd. Oh, all things considered, that's the best way I would summarize this, is saying very, very odd. What an interesting change. By the way, good to see you, Literally Turtle. Happy to catch a stream. I hope you have a good day, by the way, my man. Or my turtle. Sorry. Rude of me to say person. So, we're now going to go to 8576. So, TP to 80, and then something 576. Let's go see the trail ruins over there and see what it looks like. So, this is the trail ruins, as you can see, internet. And the real test is if we go down from this, do we keep finding trail ruins? You used to just have a giant gap before the rest of the structure. But today, I'm digging down. Whoa, look at that. It's connected now. They did it. They fixed the most confusing big bug in the new structure, but they got around to doing it. I'm pleased. It must have been a hard bug to fix if it took this long, because it's not like they didn't want to do it. It was actively on the to-do list. But yeah, look at that. What an incredible change. So that is the first of the brand new features. They have fixed trail ruins. Honestly, that by itself makes this a pretty good beta, if you ask me. Pretty good preview, all things considered. However, let's now hop back into creative, and let's try out, so if you look on the changelog, we can, I'll try not to do everything as a line-by-line breakdown like this, but if you look in the changelog, you can see that they've got some changes to the breeze. So not only does he have the ability to jump while standing in water, but he'll avoid trapdoors, which, you know, I think most people look at that and go, okay, cool. But I immediately just want to know, like, okay, what does that actually look like if we're going to do it? You know, like, hypothetically, if we had, say, you know, a trapdoor area that was very, very big. Okay, so 10 by 10 blocks. If we did have a bunch of trapdoors, let's say they were all copper trapdoors, actually, and then we put a single block in the middle, would the breeze be trapped in that? I don't know if there is any use to trapping a breeze on a block this way. Let's maybe go a block down, actually, so like there. Would the breeze avoid trapdoors altogether, or just open trapdoors? Because it's funny, Minecraft mobs have such a hard time with trapdoors. I'm sure if you've ever worked on any mob farm, you know this is true. They just have no idea if they're open or shut, and so they just assume that they're open. But as you can see, this is pretty fun. If he's on trapdoors already, he will stay standing still, it looks like. Whereas, just to confirm this isn't a bug more broadly, if I put him on, say, a tree, he will walk around that tree. No, he won't. He's standing in one place. I'm going to move him over here, see if he still keeps walking. Okay, so it could be that he is a little bugged out, and he just isn't responding to anything. He wants to move, but he just isn't. Whereas if we make a few more blocks around here, which is the fairest way to do this, I guess, and then we knock him back, will he move at all? No, seemingly not. Well, I guess we'll hop into survival just so we can find out. Is he going to come towards me with the trapdoors? He doesn't want to. It's too dangerous for you here, friend. And if we do knock him back, as I've just done, he will stay exactly where he's standing. So there's got to be something to that you can use to your advantage, I'm sure. I don't know what it could possibly be, but fun fact, breezes do not deal with trapdoors very well. And how do they deal with full damage? Well, let's find out, because they can now jump in water, supposedly. I've never tried fighting a breeze in water, but it's fun that you can. It's one of the, oh, they can jump right out of it like a dolphin. So yeah, that is the breeze. They make a lot of enemies if you bring them to the water. And honestly, they're such a cool mob outside of the trial chambers. It's interesting how much AI they have to kind of just be sat in a corner. I wonder if that is something that they intend on keeping that way. I really do have a lot of feelings. Anyway, with that said, speaking of a lot of feelings, something they just changed was that when you, so again, let's, there is a master changelog for all this stuff. They've improved trial spawner particles and also changed the armadillo a lot. And so let's summon some armadillos and see what they've actually done there. Summon armadillo. So that's an armadillo right there, and we'll summon another one on the same spot. Hopefully he'll be a baby. So now the armadillo supposedly will have, they'll move towards their parents after rolling up. Cute. They'll emit vibrations when rolling and unrolling, and their legs will not flicker, and they'll play correct sounds when rolling up. Let's see if we can notice those things. Have you ever noticed incorrect armadillo sounds? Okay, I'm gonna have to listen really carefully. Oh, yeah. Interesting. I never really paid attention to those. That's cute. Oh, speaking of cute, they did something interesting. So if you now give yourself an item, you'll notice there are 2 items called scute. The armadillo scute is now not just, you know, I guess the turtle scute is not the scute anymore in Bedrock. Instead, we have 2 separate unique types. And so yeah, here is an entirely different new type of scute. I would have to, I want to raise the question one more time. Why is it that you can brush an armadillo for this, which I don't think they've touched that, just by the way. It is intentional game behavior that it takes 1/5 of a brush to get this. But yeah, they haven't touched that behavior at all. But why not give us the ability to brush some turtles? I think that's better than the whole wait for them to grow up thing, because that's not how you get scutes in the real world, I'm pretty sure. But what do I know, ultimately? Speaking of what do I know, so cute. I agree, Cat. It's a very cute animal. I think that is something Minecraft can do really well. I think the whole debate around the use of these mobs kind of gets to the point of, like, a lot of people would just like a cute Minecraft mob, rolls up into a little ball, does his own little thing. And can you really fault them for that? Also, will the breeze attack me from down here? He's just hanging out on top of those leaves there. They must really not like transparent blocks, I guess. Anyway, so with that said, I want to look at the next line on this changelog here. So they've removed the darkening tint in the wind burst particle to uphold parity. Okay, they've changed it so pistons pulling and destroying blocks no longer risk teleporting surrounding players towards the world origin. Potato, carrot, melon, sweet berries, neverwort, sunflower, lilacs, rosebush, lots of things have increased chance of drops when mined with an enchanted book of fortune. Wait, so the way they're saying that, they no longer. So yeah, if you use fortune in 1.20.50 as a book, you'll get some benefit from gravel. Would you want that? I mean, I guess you might want it from these things. Like, I guess more potatoes of a fortune book is useful. But is it really? It's a bizarre bug to think about. Also, fixed a bug where the player would exit a vehicle height at an incorrect height if the vehicle was over a fire block. A vehicle. So if you know, that's an interesting bug that I wouldn't have ever thought about. Then we've got flying players only slowed by touching the ground when moving down. So I like this one a lot. This is a weird kind of bug, but you probably don't notice if you don't fly a lot. But if you're flying along the ground like this, so I'm literally on the ground, right? As you can see. But if I want to fly above the ground, I have the ability to do that. I think that's like it's a small quality of life feature you probably wouldn't think about, but I like it. Hey, have a tip before I have to start driving and can't watch this anymore. Have fun, Toycat. Hope you are desert well today. Thank you, Miss Pat Van Dra. You know, it's very, very fitting to the name that you're driving today. I hope you're driving a van, in fact, and a lady while doing it. I don't know. I feel like lady has the connotation of like, you know, like, yeah. But the point is to say, thank you very much for the tip. Hope you have a good drive wherever it is you're going. So with that said, you know, these are the basic changes for the thing right here. We've got the we've got more fix font glyph boundary artifacts, spotty pixels at the edge of a character with italic text rendering at certain resolutions. These scutes being renamed. Villagers which were mistakenly assigned to the same better workstation will now actively seek out a new better workstation. Thank God. Villager linking is so hard. Pufferfish no longer inflate and deflate repeatedly when a player is at a specific distance from them. Interesting. Animal equipment such as horse armor and wolf armor no longer has a chance of being duplicated when the animal carrying them is killed. So that's an example of the wolf armor coming to the game and making horse armor better. 2 thumbs up. Pillagers now spawn correctly near pillager outposts. Mobs that have partial blocks specified as part of their list of blocks to avoid in the navigation component should now avoid them properly. So there are only some mobs that have that as part of. Some mobs will not avoid partial blocks. It's interesting they had to write it that way. This is the Trail Ruins thing. This is some realms issues that, you know, like, it's harder to verify. We've got some villagers could not have their skins match their professions. That, but I mean to say that the realms stuff is, although you can use realms in the preview, it is much less so. Corrected translations about posting and liking, fix the crash, and Realms tab in the play screen is no longer stuck in the loading state. That is something that I feel like has affected me. Then we got a bunch of technical updates, which are important for people working on add-ons, etc. And then we've got some editor mode changes. So this is where I'm really curious. I haven't played around an editor for a really long time, internet, and I honestly forgot how I even did it because my old editor shortcut broke. And so I figured it might be fun if we went ahead and did precisely that, huh? And so let's do it. This is Minecraft. You might be familiar with its game modes. There's actually, the best way to show you the game modes is there is survival, most people play it, there's creative, and then there's adventure, which when was the last time you saw someone use adventure? And then there's spectator. There's also default, but these are the 4 game modes inside of Minecraft, but fun fact, you actually have some extra game modes outside of it, so I'm gonna have to close the game real quick. And then, look at that, there's nothing here. And then I'm gonna reopen the game as editor mode. This is something you can only do on the Windows version of Minecraft if you have the preview. You have to go into the shortcut, add a little thing into it. It's a weird option. But basically, yeah, now you can see I'm playing Minecraft preview still. You can see the text up there. But now it's got none of the same projects, and also no servers, and like we're in this brand new game mode that also means there's no main menu. This is the main menu. It's straight into the project screen. But yeah, when you create a new project, this is my editor 120 60 24. What a ridiculously long what a ridiculously long name for a beta. Okay, let's put all the dots in there so everyone knows what I'm talking about. And now we are going to go ahead and enable, I don't know, 1.21 as well, because why not? And yeah, this looks like we're starting a fairly normal world right now. But we have 3 choices instead of 2. Not just infinite, not just flat, but void world. Oh, I have a pretty good theory about what void worlds are going to be, internet. Have you ever wanted to start from scratch? Because flat looks like... This is pretty cool, by the way. Like, look at that. It shows you actually 3 different images. But the, yeah, everyone knows flat. Everyone knows the regular world type. But void is something brand new, which is not a type of custom super flat, although you could argue it is. But let's go into it and let's see what it's like. The editor has changed quite a bit. I think it's been about 3 to 6 months since I last covered it on the channel. So there'll be a few features that are, oh, it's so messy. I forgot what it looks like. It's such a weird UI for inside of Minecraft. So we're going to skip over on that. We've got tools, selection, etc. We'll work it all out. And then here is my world, internet. And I believe file, there's an option to go in test world. So survival, let's go. So here is me playing that world that I just made, but in survival now. That's an interesting, I feel like it was a bit faster before, but look, here I am in the void world, internet. And if I wanted to, I could export this. And so if you've ever wanted to play void Minecraft, it's now an option you got. It's not a very fun world type. I'm gonna level with you. I feel like there should be more things here. But yeah, this is obviously for map makers. We're gonna return to the editor real quick, and we're gonna go back to, again, a little bit of loading time in and out. But yeah, if you want to actually make this a real world, you'd have to go to brush. We're going to pick a fun block type. What's a block that people enjoy? Copper. Maybe a cactus, actually. Let's have a single cactus, or maybe a bunch of cactus, honestly, over here. Well, that did not work as intended. And I believe there's a few new tools that you can actually make. So here is a line, for example. And so we'll make it out of something a bit less silly than that. We'll use magma. And now we can make a line. So I am currently very zoomed in, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, here's me. Let's make a line, internet. So one freeform. Yeah, freeform, algorithm, direct, or staggered fences. So now let's fill selection. Okay, so there we go. There's a line. How do we make the line go somewhere? You know, that's something, right? You can't say it's not. So now we'll make the line go much wider. Oh, we can't actually. So magma, yep. Width 1, height 1. Okay. So there's got to be a crosshair mode, maybe? Oh, so here's me in real survival. And look, I can now look at it from here and say, wow, look at me. This is my world. It's a very good world. It's if you want to see what this one looks like. So this is, oh, so you can't actually hop into survival this way. You can play around in creative, but if you want to actually test it, we have to go to world options, test world, difficulty. You know what, we'll try in peaceful actually, and then spawn in current location. So, as you can see, I've now just made my first ever void world. I'm excited for it. Also green screen. It is incomprehensible to me how green screens work. It is crazy. So yeah, I've made a world here, internet. Do you want to try and survive on my challenge? It's a pretty good one, right? Like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna do this? It's a good challenge, I think. I survived 100 days in a block of magma. So yeah, this is my high quality world I've got here. It's nice, right? I can stand here and I could wave. No, if I wave, apparently. Oh, interesting. If you do emotes, it stops you from crouching. I've never considered that was possible, but so I can't actually do emotes either. But I can sit here and I can stare as the sun slowly rises. Wait, is it perfect for making one block maps? I assume that's not actually their goal. Their goal is that you could do this and do something like, hypothetically. You know, let's make a world just a very ugly example of what you actually would use this for. So, we're going to go into the brush. We're going to make it, you know, actually, we'll go into the brush tool. We'll make it a little bit bigger. I thought there was a way to make this more unique in particular, but that's fine. We'll use some copper. I don't know what type of copper right now. What's the most worldly type of copper? Oxidized copper? Sure. And then I place some right over there. Do you like it, internet? It's pretty darn good, right? I made a very, very nice block of copper, and then I can make another one over there. No, I can't. Okay, it's not where I wanted to make it. I want to make it like over here somewhere. So maybe I should like place a block over here, and then remove all of these blocks, and then there we go. Now we go back into regular mode, and back into regular mode, and then we'll make a brand new cube over here. Except this one won't be oxidized copper. It'll be just copper. Just regular old copper bulbs, maybe even. You know, everyone loves copper bulbs, right? I've heard people love the implementation of those. And so now I've made a world. And because of the fact that I don't have to delete a super flat, it's just a little bit faster, right? Yeah, so there's a few things which have come out since I last saw this. Is the Nether going to be empty too? Oh, the Nether is also empty. Ah, that's fun. And so that means the end? Yeah, actually, is the end going to be empty as well? Oh, it's just it's kind of like the world with the end in it. I mean, that's the least specific I've ever said anything. It's kind of like the world without an end, I guess is what I meant to say. So yeah, I'm going to try now and understand how this line feature works. Okay, so I'm going to just slowly... Oh, okay, so it fills between 2 points, but it can only attach to points that exist in the world. You can't... There's a grid out here, but you can only see it when there's stuff attached to it. So you'd have to... Okay, so if I want to make a really long line, hypothetically, let's go back now. You know, let's stay in the end. This is a nice place. So we're going to set a block just over here. Set block, you know, grass or something. Everyone loves grass. And now we can make a straight line between this point and that point, right? So we go line from there to there. And then... Oh, and it does a little staircase thing too, which means that now that I'm back in survival, I can go along it and I can enjoy sprinting along. Interesting. So yeah, the line tool wasn't available last time I checked with it. But this is handy for something. I don't know what this would be useful for, but if we, yeah, with only one distance too, but adjacent face, algorithm staggered. Let's see what that does for us, shall we? So we'll now make one that goes from there to there, and we'll see what staggered fences actually means. Okay, so staggered fences means it just didn't care about the going down at all. And now if we really like this, right, we can copy and paste it. So we'll select from there all the way to here. We'll make it wider on this angle, and then wider over there, and then, I don't know, up there too, as well as, I don't know, move the whole thing down a few blocks. Seems logical to me. There we go. So now we can copy this. Fill selection. No, I don't want to fill selection. I want to copy this. Can you Control C? I feel like I've just done that. And then I'm going to take this with me back to the overworld, I think. Okay, there we go. Look at that, internet. I've done something great. I've made the best overworld in Minecraft history. Don't you like it? Isn't it beautiful? I've got an end portal sort of here. Although I wonder if you killed an ender dragon, would this fill up? Or is it like that specific point in your world that is the end portal? Anyway, it would have to be the point in your world, I guess, logically speaking. So yeah, this is a fun new feature in the editor mode that you can have the void world. Also, supposedly, there is the add entity picker function to iProperty pane API for selecting entity type. Added tool group ID optional property to iRegister extension optional parameters API for organizing tools and custom groups. Also entity event entity responses, which allow entity to emit a vibration having the entity itself as a source. That is confusing, but yeah, we've got there's a lot more options now. It sounds like. You know what? Actually, I feel like I don't. Okay, so UI settings, cursor settings. There's a lot of interesting choices that supposedly exist that I guess they're not as easily labeled as I would have assumed. So we'll now go into, we'll open up the documentation. That's outside the game. We'll open up the quick start. There we go. And we'll see what we can do. Actions, Control Z to undo your edits. Oh, I forgot that one. That's such a game changer. If you've never tried this, by the way, you ever make a mistake in Minecraft and want to undo it? Look at this. You can just do that. Isn't that incredible? Control Z and Control Y. Chat, look at this. I can redo undo over and over and over again. Is that not revolutionary to you? But now I can also go into survival, test this world, and say that I've officially made what must be Minecraft's most ridiculous challenge. Try and survive on this. Control Z is basic lol. Oh, Control Z is game changing for Minecraft though. Like obviously if you've been playing with editor, you've had it. But just, it's such a, like, there's so many times where you make a mistake in Minecraft and it's like, oh, yeah, you can't. It's over. GG. Also, Control Z. You know what? Control Z, Control Z. They're both valid. It's just, like, the way you describe that last letter of the alphabet to me, it's like it's one of the least useful letters. I guess X is like less valuable. Shame you can't do it in the base game. Yeah, I have no idea why they wouldn't allow you to make... Like, I don't know, I could see like it being hidden deep in the settings. Just enable editor mode. But Control Z in creative seems like it would be a good idea. There's got to be some good reason they won't do it. Maybe they're concerned about the player experience. But I think this is fun. Can I Control Z from here? I cannot. Okay, once you're in the game. And so there's like a solid, stable testing version. And now I can break these blocks, but they'll go back if I go back to editor. So to confirm that's true, let's make a little hole in this. I'll use it to make a little island or something. And now the map will go back to normal because this was just a test. Right? I think. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I prefer Z, but also H. What does that make me? It makes you a traitor to the Irish Republic, I believe. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have very strong opinions on certain letter pronunciations because they'll associate you certain ways. But I don't know, I think that's kind of silly. So there's logs. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, if we now were to make a mob spawn, let's say we want to do that, right? Because, you know, sometimes I just want to summon a mob. So we'll summon a sheep. The sheep will... I'm gonna have to place some blocks underneath the sheep, or he's not gonna make that landing. And then we'll go back into editor mode, and then we click on the sheep using not the brush tool, maybe the selection tool. How do we alter the sheep? What do we have to do? Wait, you don't say Control Z? It's interesting to me that I didn't say Control Z if I didn't. I guess no, Control Z sounds right. It's like it's because it's an internet meme. Control C, Control V, Control Z. I don't honestly trying to understand why anyone does anything on the it's very, very hard. So now we're going to view. How do I select the sheep? There's a sheep there. How do I do things to the sheep?
Let's not Control Z. He deserves to live freely.
You know, SOFP, 10 out of 10. Thank you. Perfect timing. I agree. Let's not control Z. How about we all agree that we could all be better in this world? Oh, no, what am I doing? I leave the sheep alone, Toycat. I think it's so interesting. Control Z. I think it's so bizarre. I'm a simple Minecraft player. I don't care about the map making stuff, to be honest. Yeah, I think I have a particular interest in it because I do love, like, I like making things for other people to enjoy. Weird thing, I know. You wouldn't have guessed that if you watched my YouTube channel. But yeah, I wonder what it is that you've got to do for the sheep to... Okay, I'm inside the sheep now. Is that part of the process? Okay, so I'm inside the sheep, but I still can't control his option. Maybe there's another option in here. So it's not in help. It's not in world options. There's pause. Actors. Oh, we unpaused. Okay, well, I might need to pause him again. Do you think he's alive down there still? Yeah, he is. Okay, so there was you can save the sheep by pausing him, or you can leave him be. You know, let's hang out with the sheep. It's much nicer down here. And then we can paste some stuff down here, or we can make some lines. But that seems to be about all the new options. I thought there were so many more. I heard that they updated the way a lot of these things worked. But I think I must have been wrong about that. Or it's in here somewhere else and I have no idea. But yeah, you can export this if you like it. You can change your settings in the UI. My cursor settings and the game menu is just over here. I assume the settings are just my regular settings. Yeah. It's interesting though, right? You can see it says project and then project name. And there's a few slight differences. Like, it's clearly using Minecraft as the bones. But it's interesting to see regardless. So with that said, thank you very much, by the way, to Diluted Dante. You need to use control plus sheep. Thank you very much. Exactly what I needed to hear. Zed the sheep. Look, there's a sheep falling into the void right now. This is very, very, very serious. Okay, so this is a sheep. He's currently about to die. How do I save him? What power? So it says if I read you the changelog real quick, let's work this out together. So they added entity picker function to the iProperty pane API for selecting an entity type. It's the iProperty pane API. How do you use the iProperty pane API? What? I don't. And they also add separated function from iMenu API. So let's go find out how these APIs work. So off the installation guide, let's go to the overview. Here are the requirements. Here are the tools. Yep, we got all the actions. Tool mode and crosshair mode, navigation, tool mode, file menu, UI scales, edit menu. Yep, world options, crosshair mode, test world. Yep, all of these things. Seen it all. So the brush function is just making big cubes. That's all that is, and that's acceptable. Then they're telling you how to make a tree. They're showing you fixed distance selection. Okay, that's interesting too. Adjacent selection, transform, size, fill. Looks very nice, very nice, very nice. Paste preview. Love the idea. Crosshair mode. Import a file. What's next? Editor tutorial. Okay, so let's put a house in a greenhouse. That's not. No, this is all old stuff. None of this is. Damn it! You know what? I thought there's something going on here, but we can't see it. So next up, we've got scripting engine stuff. We've got performance feature toggle, enable new geometry tessellation pipeline defaults to true. That's exciting. A new geometry tessellation pipeline is defaulting to true now. Internet, and yeah, it's very interesting to see that this is a bug fix which does have quite a few crucial changes here. Like, you know, I feel like the skewed thing and the trail ruins especially. But when it comes to other changes, it's much harder to see the benefits of, well, the EDU only hard stained glass is now split up into different varieties. Like, it's interesting that when Minecraft Bedrock updates, it doesn't just have to update the base game. It has to update Education Edition and the specific scripting for add-ons and the editor. So, you know, it kind of makes sense that it's tricky to do so. But yeah, if I learn how to use the editor, it takes me back to the same page, by the way. There's a starter kit, there's some samples. It's pretty cool. They do want more people to be involved in actually making cool stuff. It makes sense why. They have a huge interest in... Ooh, delete. I want to... Shall I delete internet? I'll delete the I'm trying to delete my sheep, but it just isn't going to work. But yeah, instead let's go up to the top here. And let's just have a little bit of fun before we go today, because that seems to be the thing. Also, Duxo, thank you very much for super chatting £1. So what we can do, just to show you the fun of the editor, is I can make like a little chain like that. The sort of thing that would be very hard in base Minecraft. And yeah, we make them hollow too, especially. There'll be like a snake through this that we can make a path for. Or you could probably do the same with like, make a world of, take a mountain and do this with air. Yeah, if we make like a 100 size brush. Oh, it's 16 is the max. But then we make it not hollow. So just make a big old one of these all over the place. Then we could move the brush size down. Make it out air. Not sand air. Just not sand. I can assure you I don't want sand, game. I just want air. So we pick air. And then we can kind of like dig through this. And as you dig through it, you'd make a fun little tunnel that might feel natural while still allowing you to do what it is you want to do. Personally, I do think that probably leaves some to be desired. But yeah, there's this is the editor mode. It has received a few updates to a few of its APIs. And I thought I knew what that meant until I checked it out. But the bigger one is the fact that we have these void worlds now. And I don't know what to do with this, but I'm so creatively inspired, internet. It's a world with nothing in it. How can that not be useful for something? But yeah, it's I hope this is a sign, if only a tiny one, that Custom Superflat can come to the game. I know this is gonna sound like a reach, internet. Please follow me with this one though. If Minecraft has now got not just, you know, 2 world options, which was, you know, infinite and flat. If there's infinite and then wait. What does it say for void, actually? Completely flat world stretching into the distance. A world of absolute emptiness ready to be filled. This is a second type of custom superflat. I know it doesn't seem like it. It seems like a nothing world. But effectively, it's a flat world, but instead of 3 grass, or 1 grass, 3 dirt, 1 bedrock, effectively instead of that, it's just 0 dirt, 0 grass, 0 bedrock. I would imagine internally that's how it's generating. We'll find out. But if it is, it means at the very least in the future we might see some custom presets come in here. Speaking of custom presets, out of Christmas money, lol, be enjoying these streams though. Thank you very much, Nightfire. I'm glad you've been liking the streams. Hope you've been having a good one. But yeah, that is the most promising part of this. Outside of that, I think it's really, really great that they finally got around to fixing the trail ruins. Again, must have been a hard bug. I want to give them benefit of the doubt and say congrats on getting around to it. And yeah, I'm also curious, you know, does your world seed even matter when it's a void world, do you think? You can't click any of the templates. I mean, you can't have a seed for a void world. Or for a flat world, actually. Is that true in regular Minecraft too, that flat worlds can't have world seeds? It's interesting. Anyway, so with that said, they also made some changes to deferred rendering. Let's go take a peek, actually. So as you can see, looking at the thing right here, we've got experimental technical updates. The graphical changes fixed an issue where shadows for alpha tested geometry were no longer rendering in the deferred technical preview. Okay. Banner shields now render when equipped in both left and right hands in the deferred technical preview. Fixed an issue where light emitting items glowed in the player's hand in dark rooms during the day in deferred technical preview. Improved upscaling, pixelated artifacts no longer visible. Fixed unstable and incorrect light clustering in... Okay, that sounds pretty good, actually. Should we check it out? Just give it a little peek. So let's close down edit mode. And let's go ahead and let's reopen the regular preview and check out some deferred rendering. See if it looks any better. Also, didn't they fix it so you can't take full damage in boats? Yeah, that was the best part of 1.2040, in my opinion. It was a big change. It was a very important one. So, yeah, with that said... Oh, there we go. Look at me. I'm feeling good. Let's open up. Let's switch over. And let's show you... I don't know. Is the trail test the world I just made now? I think it was, yeah. So, let's go back into that, but with the... I guess a deferred rendering pack turned on. So, we'll put on the... I don't know which one of these will be a best fit. Does this one sound good for now? I got a couple... We try out here and there. Smoky Stacks one's pretty good. We'll so this we'll give it a quick shot. This is Luminous Streams graphics pack with shader and PBR textures, whereas this one is experimental pack using the Render Dragon pipeline. It's very hard to talk about like specific parts of physical-based rendering and deferred rendering. I feel like I'll be honest, I feel like I don't get it perfect when I talk about it in videos. But the most important part to say is that they fixed some bugs that involve it. Notably, those bugs including banner shields rendering correctly. You know, I probably should load up the Let's Play world if it's something to do with banner shields. But banner shields render, and also shadows for alpha-tested geometry no longer rendering. It's an interesting but important change, I guess. Let's go give it a peek. I ain't gonna try that hard to find like a food, says Jackal. You know, at some point, we all have to try to find food or we die. I'm still trying to drink a lot of water, by the way. Make sure you have a broken trail ruins in your world before it gets fixed in the next update, says KMB600. Yeah, it's a funny point. If you just joined KMB, so let's turn on the pack. Did I forget to enable it? I think I forgot to enable the experimental toggle. Whoopsie. Okay, let's go back out. Let's come back in. Although, I guess at this point we could just load up my Let's Play, because I have a... in the Let's Play, if I have a copy in this version. Super flat, but it's back. That's not the copy. Okay, I don't have a copy of it. So, let's go back to trail test. And let's just go through here. I always forget. It's such an easy thing to forget. Render Dragon features 4 creators. As well as all of these things, because, you know, I just feeling good, right? So now, back into play. Let's do it. We all do that, says Card King Gaming. It's annoying. I understand why it has to be that way. It's like taking a tiny bit of responsibility or something like that. But also, it's just the tiniest bit annoying. So, the thing I'm most curious about is how shadows work. Oh, look at my shadow over there, Internet. It actually works. It's the full part of me. It's not just the tiny part. Oh, look at my shadow. It's real. Look, chat, my shadow. You can actually... It's not like fake. It looks real now. And so let's get a shield out, and then let's put a banner on the shield. We'll use a really boring banner. No, we won't use a really boring banner, actually. Let's go to the loom. Let's grab some dye. I don't know what dye I'm going to use. Some pink dye. And I'm going to... Oh, you know what? Let's go for a red dye. And let's go for a blue banner. And let's make a really, really off-brand Union Jack, shall we? Just, you know, have a bit of fun with it. So, here is the loom. Here is the dye. I need the dye pattern. You know, I don't need the dye pattern. Yeah, if I just throw that in there, and then I say I want this, it'll just do it for me, right? Yeah, so I'll put the nice lazy cross on there. It's basically the UK flag, chat. We're basically there. You know, no, we gotta do better than this. So let's now go with dye. We grab a little bit of white dye, a little bit of red dye. Just, you know, if you're gonna have a shield, it has to be patriotic. Those are the rules. So there's no, I guess we throw the cross on there, and then we'll re-throw the red cross on there. There we go. Union Jack banner can be easily accomplished just like this. And now, supposedly, while in my hand, it will render correctly with shadows and the like. That's really interesting. Look at that shadow. This feels incorrect to have a shadow, right? Like, while you're playing Minecraft, something is very odd about being able to, like, see yourself in third person. But yeah, it can't be if you just joined. This is what the broken... crazy seed looks like now. It used to be 256 blocks, but now it's all the way down to nothing. Which is pretty huge, right? I do have to say. A lot of these bug fixes are perhaps small things. I think sometimes people criticize Mojang for bug fixes. Some people say they don't do enough, but some people say they do far too many. But I do think there is, like, some benefit to, like, I think there are some of these that make a much bigger impact, and there's some benefit to everyone for every tiny bug fix. Even the small things of, like, you know, now that more mobs will pathfind better, I'm gonna make myself another trapdoor mesh just because I think that was fun. So let's make it bigger though. So like 20 blocks by 20 blocks, copper trapdoor. So we make a lovely trapdoor made out of copper. Didn't want it to be there actually, so we'll make it over here instead. So now we know which direction it's gonna go in. We'll make one of those, and in the middle of it, we'll put some dirt. Just nice, simple dirt. Oh, it's so weird the way, like, things go slow. But yeah, now you can trap mobs. Look at the texture pack adds a tiny bit of extra eye detail, it seems. Oh no, that's not eye detail, it's like, it's weird shadows or something. Or is he just getting angry? I don't even know. But yeah, the way that mobs traverse the world is actually quite important. The way shadows work is not that important, but was very jarring for some people. And the Trail Ruins thing is going to make a huge impact for people who don't follow, you know, the YouTube game, who don't follow everything else, who are just there genuinely like, oh, yeah, I don't know how Trail Ruins are meant to work. I think you're meant to brush, but then it goes missing for a bit. It's nice that people can actually explore the game a bit more. But then, sorry. It also creates this fun thing where if you've got a world you've explored between 1.20, so it would basically, in the last 8 months, any of your world that was explored in those chunks is going to, any of your chunks of your world explored in those updates will now have huge gaps in there that will be so confusing to try and explain back. But, you know, part of the world, part of life is that, right? The most important part of deferred rendering is graphics customization. Yeah, I think that is a, I think it's a thing that makes sense to do because basically everyone likes the idea of shaders, right? But they're much harder to implement on the Bedrock version. And unlike most other mods that they have to, air quotes, implement here, instead of just saying, yeah, have access to the source code, do it, they give like a hook into the code from which people can make their own choices. And some of those choices are good, some of those choices are bad. But at some point, isn't everything down to choices that are good or bad? Look at the shadows, by the way. You can see the shape of the trapdoor through them because the sun is all the way back there. This is clever stuff. It takes a little bit of a performance bonus to do, but it's still very nice. Anyway, with that said, I hope that you've all enjoyed your time in this stream as we checked out a beta. Let me know what you thought of this as an overall concept. It's a bit more, you know, I guess, what's the word? Waffly. I think people like that word. But it's also a bit of an opportunity to actually go through and look at some of these things heads on. And I thought it was a lot of fun for that reason. If you liked it, let me know. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I have been ibxtoycat. And I will see. This is such a bad looking sheet. Like, the banner looked so much better before I put it on the shield. Anyway, I've been ibxtoycat. Hope you had a nice day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Because I want to talk about 1.21 and kind of some of the things that we might be seeing from the second half of it. Last year, this time is when they announced the armor trims. So who knows what's coming this time next year. We'll talk about it. But for now, thank you for watching. And I'll see you for my next stream. Goodbye. Scary breeze.